Hey everyone, welcome back to Ben Robinson Guitars. Today what I thought I would do is really just start a video series on the custom shop experience. And I've got a lot of different model guitars. I have different shapes. This is what I call my legend. You can look at this guy right here. That's the T style, the Telly style. I call that the Genesis. And you've seen there's the Lineage semi-hollow body, the Fusions, got a couple Fusions, have an icon over there. So a lot of different shapes and a lot of different options for players to choose their guitar. And but yet when I put a guitar on the wall back here, I'm literally guessing at what the customer wants. What I really like is when a customer comes in and says, "I love this guitar. You have the right recipe. Let me personalize it and make it mine." And that's exactly what has happened. A player came in, saw this guitar, played this guitar, he's got another of my fusion style guitars, so he's come back for another one. But he wants a Legend guitar, but he wants to personalize it for himself. So we're going to talk about that process on how all that works, and if you do it, this is exactly what we're going to do. So the first thing is, let's just look at this guitar the way that it is, and some of the specs that really drove him to like this guitar. First off, these pickups. These are the Seymour California 50s. Fantastic pickups. Great clean tone, and yet you put a little burner on them and they really come to life. Light overdrive, they just really awesome. Probably key number 2, this is a hip shot tremolo, and again, this is just butter smooth. I have a lot of guitars that come through the shop for repairs and so on, all different kinds of tremolos, high-end tremolos, cheaper tremolos, 2 points, vintage style with the screws all the way across. Nothing that I've had come in here compares to this. It is so smooth. They got these points here just dialed in. That's all you need to do. You can get the tremolo with your heel, with the heel of your palm, or if you want to use the bar, that's all you need. Just a tiny little press, and you've got all the vibrato that you're looking for. So these combined are just absolutely just killer. Something that I do on mine that helps a lot, we'll talk about this neck heel right here, and it's just a little different. You got a radius this direction. I round these edges over, and what that does, it's not this big block with a plate back there, and it just makes it easier. You can easily access these upper frets. There's no point there hardly for your hand. It just, your hand fits and it feels nice. So again, one of those small little details that really at the end of the day make an absolute huge difference. 25.5-inch scale, 22 frets, 9.5-inch radius fretboard. That's standard build. So the customer, he comes in and he plays this, and then he starts saying, well, hey, let's spec this thing out and let me get it the way that I want it. And so he and I have a conversation, and I have the yellow sheet here, right? And we go through and we talk, and he just give me what he wants. We talk about controls, we talk about the pickups that he want, colors, layout, everything. So we fill out one of these spec sheets, and then I go to work on getting him the guitar that he's looking for. So let's talk about some of the changes that he's looking for. First and foremost, 22 frets. He would like to have 24, great. We can certainly do that. So when you start thinking about a 24 fret guitar, really this neck now is going to start coming down here, and the end of the fretboard is probably going to be about where these pull pieces are on this neck pickup. So all that's going to do is we're going to have to compress this area and bring these pickups a little closer together, and as this neck comes down. I think the other thing that we really need to do is we need to look at this curve, this point right here, and see, we might need to lower this a little bit so that when he comes in here, you don't have to stretch as far to get to that 24th fret. Right now, it's not bad, but with just a small little change right in here, we can fix that. Same on this side. Might need to drop this down here a little bit to make it match a little better, but we can certainly do that. The other thing that the customer would like to have is a different profile here. While this is comfortable, and again, this customer has already has a Fusion guitar that he has purchased from me in the past, so he's used to my comfort heel. And I'm just gonna grab another guitar and I'll show you. I'll grab this one right here. This is actually an Icon model guitar, but it has a heel pocket here that's going to be very close. Now, if you look, very thin right here in comparison to that, and all this has been peeled back. It's been shaved back, so the thickness right here, the thickness where my finger is here, that's going to be equivalent to what the Legend is. But when I shave that off, it just gives you that easier hand profile. It just fits really nice. It's hard to see, but it just fits really nice, very comfortable, no sharp edges, and it's just thinner enough to be noticeable. So we're actually going to put this style heel pocket on that guitar. So that's certainly doable. I think the other thing that he's going to want to do, that he does want to do, is he wants a humbucker down here rather than a single coil. So we will do an HSS standard. He loved this bridge, so we're going to stick with that. Controls, going to do something a little different on the controls. And again, this is the custom shop, right? He's defining this to be exactly what he wants. Master volume, that doesn't change. Tone, this tone here is actually we're going to wire it together so that tone actually controls these two together. So you're not going to have a separate tone for neck and middle, but we're going to leave these tied together from a tone knob perspective. This guy is also going to be a push-push, and in that we're going to split this coil on the pickup. So it's a compromise a little bit from a straight single coil pickup, but there's some things we can do to help that on the electronic side as well. So push, you'll be able to split the humbucker right here. This here will be the tone for the bridge specifically, and it will also be a push, which is going to bring this neck pickup back in positions 4 and 5. So in position 4, so if you're over here in position 4, and you do the push here, we're going to be using all 3 pickups. And then if we use this guy, you can either split the bridge for that true single coil, or for a single coil sound, or you can push it back in and get the full humbucker. So this thing's it's gonna have a voice. That is for sure. One of the other things we talked about, and I think about this, and I'm probably going to start doing this on probably any guitar that I produce now with a tremolo of some type, and that's a roller nut. I've put roller nuts. I put the LSR roller nut on some previous guitars, and frankly, it's amazing. And this guitar that we're speccing out, it also has one of these. So we're going to put the LSR roller nut in here, and that's really from a tuning stability standpoint. And I mean, I opened these up a lot, and it's a pretty slick surface it's sliding on there. So this guitar holds pretty well. But really, at the end of the day, if you put that roller nut in there, it's just that extra little bit of tuning stability, I'll say. So, and you know, me being the builder, the designer, and the producer, it doesn't matter to me. I literally, it's a few minutes on the CAD programs, and we'll put that in, and a few more dollars for the part, and we'll be good to go. The other thing is the customer, he really wants his own look, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to go seafoam green on the color. We're going to black the guitar out. From a control standpoint, bridge, I mean the hardware, it's going to be black, and so that's going to have its own look. And then on the headstock, what we're going to do is this surface right here, we're going to go black there, and then right here on this edge, this recessed edge here, we're going to use that color to match the body. So combining those with the logo there, it's really going to pop. Black hardware up here as well. This is going to be a fantastic looking guitar. So really, you know, customer comes in, plays this, falls in love with this. Let's say, hey, let me make it mine. We come in here and I mean, just look at all these notes. We fill all these notes out, and then I go to work. And we're going to take just a minute. We're going to swing over to the computer and kind of show you the model that I'm going to send the customer and get his approval on before we actually start building. So hang tight. All right, everyone, we made it back to the computer desk here, and what you're looking at is you know, the customer gives me his detail and kind of what he's looking for, and then I modify the legend design as it stands to meet his request. And this is what I have here. So I'm pretty much done with this, and I'm going to take some screenshots of this, and you know, send him some texts or emails, whatever he wants me to do, and you know, then he's going to get a real good feel for what he has in his head, and make sure that this matches. So we're getting ready to start that, but just from a modeling perspective, I just wanted to show you guys some things, and you know, what all changed from the original Legend design to this 24 fret Legend. And the most significant thing is the neck. The neck is longer, and and when you add that longer neck, these pickups right here, everything just compresses together from the bridge to the neck. And I could add a lot more detail to this model. I could put the frets in, and you know, actually put some locator dots where those things are. I could put tuners in. And while that is going to look really good, it just takes a lot of significant time on my end to model all that. And really, at the end of the day, the customer is going to see this, and he's going to be happy with hey, I know what this thing is going to look like. Um, and particularly since he saw, you know, he was in the shop and he saw the Legend as it stands, so he's going to know. And 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 it, frankly, it just saves a lot of time on my part to model all that stuff up. So again, the pickups are scrunched together a little closer. You can see where the dots are there for the 24 frets. And some things that happened is really the original design, probably about right where my cursor is where the body met the neck. So I moved that down, and I don't know what the measurement is, but it's not a huge amount. You know, half inch maybe, something like that. And all that's going to do is the reach now from right there to your 24th fret. It's less. Originally, you'd probably be grabbing about right there where the cursor is, and you know, stretching those fingers out a little bit. So just relieving a little bit of material here, to me, it's going to make a huge difference in playability of this guitar. The other thing is, I also did the same over here on this side. So right there is about where it was meeting it, where it meets the body now. It was probably meeting the body somewhere about where my cursor is there. So, you know, however far this side came down, this side came down a very similar amount. Now, doing that, it did change this over here a little bit. So it's going to have a slightly different look than the original design. But look at it. I mean, it's definitely it's the Legend on steroids. 24 frets, humbucker in the bridge. You know, we talked about the different controls and how it's going to lay out. This is going to be a very, very, very versatile guitar. The other thing that the customer was really, really intrigued on, and a lot of it is that he was spoiled on his Fusion, on the Fusion guitar that he has, and that is this heel area. This heel area. It's much more relieved. And as I roll this thing around, all right here has been, you know, just all this material has been removed. And when you wrap your hand around it, it's going to be way more comfortable to play. And like I said, he's got a Fusion model guitar, and the Fusion is similar to this. And those small little details make a huge difference in just the feel and the playability of the guitar. And and it's just things that I'm able to do for the customer. This edge right here, and this edge right here, and even as it wraps around over here,
These are sharp edges right now, and really, as when I produce the guitar, I will round, and it'll be a slight rounding over, but those will get rounded over. I'll use a little bit of a wood rasp and then clean it up with some sandpaper. But again, you're looking for that no edge, smooth lines, and that's what we'll get. Same thing here. I'll round this edge over. I'll be more aggressive here on this surface, and because I've got a nice round over here on the top. And what I'll do, it won't quite be a bull nose, this surface right here. It won't be a true bull nose. There'll still be a flat spot. But if I get a more aggressive on rounding this over to match this round over, again, it's that comfort feel, and that's again, it's something that we can do for the customer. In fact, I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the neck out of the picture real quick here, so you can get a real good view of what this neck pocket looks like. Yeah, get it rotated around. So again, your thickness on the original Legend is from 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 this surface here. That surface is showing up here about where my cursor is, but now you can really get a feel there for how much material is being removed from this edge. And again, it's a bevel. I am not in the least bit concerned about that neck pocket getting too thin. Not worried about it at all, because it tapers into that full thickness. And I'm turning the well, I can't see it real good. So kind of get a feel for where that hole is, right? And that neck pocket is back here, is in the full thickness of the body. So there's just no stability problems with that whatsoever. We'll get the neck back on and get the top view. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some screenshots here, send them off to the customer, and we'll see what he says. Hey, if you guys like this content, like, subscribe, follow. And leave comments. I love it when you guys leave comments about design changes and what about this and asking questions. And I love the interaction. So we'll get you guys soon.